Good morning, everyone. So we'll do the prayer to Manjushri. Oye lama dangumbo jambal yang lan chanza lo kange lonjen jinyen jindal nyedare namda raza jinyen dekun jijen sije nyejen tugar lekbam kanda sibin tendore mare mendo endungale jizre Dozo kun la puji darze yen la en tuju yanden Rudren je do nye boy nye lon le jin cha do ndolze Mare menze dongal nyungu jinyen chunze raljin Denen dajin sajit tarzen Yenden luzo jazen tuven go chodan chodan chunyen jenden dalim mense jambe yon la ende mara bazana de mara bazana de mara bazana de mara bazana de mara bazana Umara Bhajana Deva Mara 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 Om Ara Bhajana Deva Mara 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 Bhajana Deva Umara Bhajana de den je chenra vizre dale de mom barazane kadan den je jonlo to bai lo de pobe na wan zandu so je dan je jengo Ridan jingur janze janda gaden sunda maje ba palwa jenje jeje beja jendo tema me ba langu hira do tu de kozun gu ba chimbe ngonen janza jenjab zu jeo Shiwa nenzara tomje do tu jeje zo zimbaranze do zo kange sha sondo ye me ngom ge sar zimbe nonda jen zembe zewe zendru mbarwe dokun me gendu zejur Tujhe dama gune shirin jiden sumji konja be tuwan be mo karbe shabe diren dale yen zor shon jen zolen be men dombo zeren jawe namdo ronjen lenjen do zenzo be jen den chon barwe pe ma junen dale yen zor shon gombo lo do ariyan dewa dan to me nyen cholan chu jen da chu jon ye shan no nyen pa ozo Zamlin Jenjo Nanjen Da Ye Jong Kangre De Karin Jenyin Be Golo Yenden Kunjong Ga Ve Shasar Do Nyimbi Denzi Be Be Nanjirba Time Vezir Jabjen Da Ye Jong Ridon Jamba Shino Jino Le Ngombe Lon Le Po Peter Jedo Londo Jenzen Jenzen Ngawanjur Mibam Jambi Anje Da Ye Jong Kangi Dala Riba Loba Dan Doji Denje Menga Non La So Laban Zadam Ungurishin Lambe Muju Tinchen Lamen Da Ye Jong Namo Guru Chenyin Pomen Tunje She Tsala Kunja Ranjun Tuje Chimbe Chen Tuje Kala Kamen Tanangwa Palden Lame Jajen Da Ye Jong Yende Sanje Kunda Nyanayang Kaden Sanje Kunle Labi Kun Savi Lame Shavla Soande Da Zondo Ve Lamnan Chula Anjur Konda Jujur Dongi Jitena Deshe Lomar Jurba Kansu Da Tinder Dambe Juji Chambebe Sembar devan tadan dir she namariyan tambal hay gedan lo dan jinge rubum da nami genam da duha kunji danam jizambar kamje ge dozo sur te jurji majundu anam kadanyam besim jen thamje namrul te ni dewal aname bayanda barzo bisanji jin go hwaram barchela chine jangbe brasha te chedu Tikpa chenpe shunglu jasi chenpo shiwa la teni jizebe shanju senpe choba lan juba teni tsushindu sene nyamsu langwa ju nyamdu samba shanju chodo tu jeba lan che de sen tsal. So, first having the right motivation by cultivating the Bodhicatta in this way for the sake of motherly sentient beings and to free them from the cyclic existence and its cause, and then to lead them to complete enlightenment. And for this purpose, I'm going to listening this Mahayana scriptures composed by Shantideva, the way of Bodhisattva's life, and I will going to implement it with that kind of motivation. Listen and study this scripture, and while listening this is teaching, also the manner or the conduct should be prepared in this way, to listen carefully in an excellent way and try to implant within one's kind of like a mind. And then the actual teaching, the way of Bodhisattva's life, which contain 10 chapters with 4 themes. So 7 of them we already studied, and at the moment we are studying the 8th chapter, which is the how to develop the meditative concentrations. And among the 4 themes, that first 2 themes we already studied, and we are here at the moment, the 3rd theme, which is how to improve or the developed, the further, and the ultimately until what stage that one can develop this Mahayana spiritual training or the Bodhisattva. So to how to say, the ultimately until the final stage, that to develop this Bodhisattva, and it requires this diligence and meditative concentrations and the wisdom. So how to develop the diligence, which we already studied. Then now here we are studying how to develop the meditative concentrations. And for this, to develop the meditative concentrations, and first we need to understand that how to avoid it contraries, which means that things which really preventing us to develop this meditative concentration within oneself, which is the craving. The mainly is the craving towards mundane, or craving towards like willing to be physical in a crowdness and mental in a distractions, or little bit elaborate that craving one's surrounding people like family members and relative and friends, and then craving to wealth and reputations and name and fame and those materials and the positions and so on, craving towards them, those, and then the particularly the craving towards partner, the gender's craving. So that this craving is the one which really prevent us to develop meditative concentrations. So now it is kind of like the main point, that main contrary which prevent us to develop meditation is meditative concentration is the craving or desire, attachment or craving. So this craving is the something emotion. This is like one type of emotion, right? Among the 5 poison, this is desire, categorized as a desire. So this desire or the craving is the craving towards the mainly that where normally we crave towards these 3 objects, the craving with the to the partners, or craving to the surrounding people, or craving to kind of like the wealth, reputation, name, and fame, and position. These are categorized as like kind of like materials, craving materials. So this craving that is the contrary. So which that first Shantideva introducing how to avoid that craving towards this in order to develop the meditative concentrations within oneself. And then after that, after complete introducing all these contraries, then he is introducing later the next steps, then how to develop the meditative concentrations. And then to developing meditative concentrations. And regarding to this chapter, it is letting us choose the object or some sort of like a meditate upon is the bodhicitta. So the try to meditate, try to develop the meditative concentration based on a awakened mind. So to do that, and then the what do you call first Shantideva introducing, we need to uh, develop the meditative concentrations, or something we can say like we need to train ourselves to have that sense of being able to feel or sense the equalness, the sameness oneself and others. That is the first must developed in order to develop the bodhicitta, the altruistic mind, right? Altruistic. So, and then this will going to the first step. And then after that, after through our training, once we kind of like a familiarized, or once we become like a habit to able to treat everybody as equal, the sameness, then the second step is to train to develop the able to exchange oneself and others, means the put other as a priority, not even not equal, not same, but more important other. So that training that we can able to develop this kind of sense through training able to exchange oneself and others, that will help us to how to say, developed the sense of putting other being as a priority. And once we able to develop that one, then the true genuine kind of like cultivating bodhicitta, and not just cultivating, but then one can maintain this bodhicitta very firmly. So that this is why Shantideva suggesting here, if anyone who really wants to they develop the bodhicitta, then one must train. The first step is to train to develop the sense of equalness, and then second step is to train to have a sense of putting other as a priority, then how to say, engaging into genuine bodhicitta training, to developing bodhicitta. So through that way we can develop. And among this, so how to develop the sense of equalness, which we already studied. And then secondly, then now we are here at the moment that studying how to develop the sense of able to exchange or put the other as a priority, how to train that. And that is what we are studying at the moment. And this how to train putting other as a priority, actually also Shantideva, and that he kind of like a taught us, like a guide us complete one method. And now here an additional antidote, some sort of like a saying like particular or the extra method, that it is like a trip, side trips, But these tips are also actually kind of like the very much needed in order to train to able to put other as a priority. That in this trip, that additional antidote, what Shantideva providing the method is meditating upon envy, and pride and rivalry, or envy or jealous, actually jealous, rivalry or competition, uh, kind of like a comparing, yes, comparing. So these are very, and the when we heard that, this is a little bit, isn't it, contradicting with the normally what Buddhist teaching teach generally, and particularly Mahayana teachings. Oh, Mahayana teachings telling us to meditate jealous, meditate, meditate ego. Every times Mahayana teachings are always telling to eradicate the poisons, these egos, pride, and jealous, and rivalry, or the competition. You don't have to compare with the others, right? But now here, Shantideva, he's actually he is exactly saying that. But the way of he's saying this is to not just telling us, but to let us imagine, let us experience. And then through that, our own imagination, through our own experience, and letting us have that sense, oh, really, this is something I should avoid. That is something he's trying to uh, have that understanding through letting us meditation upon these things. Directly, kind of like a saying meditate, but indirectly, this is the method he is guiding how to avoid these emotions. And these emotions, as I told you yesterday, why it is important, it is because this jealous emotion and pride emotion and rivalry, or the competition, the comparing emotion, while arising this within oneself and then able to put other as a priority, it doesn't work. So in order to train to put other as a priority, and I cannot have while having envy to someone, and then I'm putting that person, that particular person, as a priority. No way. These two emotions will never going to stay together. It contradicts each other. Likewise, pride. Likewise, competition, and rivalry, right? Rivalry. The sense of rivalry and the sense of putting other as a priority will never going to along each other. This too is not really that bad, but it is just like a fire and water, never going to stay together, and heat and cold, right? If heat is there, cold is not there. If cold is there, heat will not going to be there. So anyway, so this is Shantideva providing on the side trip also how to train putting other as a priority by laying it low and eventually eradicating those three emotions that normally which we carry within oneself in everyday life. This is like very relevant with our day-to-day life. Every day, sometimes morning I am jealousy, and then afternoon I am comparing with someone, and then evening I am feeling pride, putting someone as an object. Or or even within a kind of like a 1 hour, all these three activities we engage. Or sometimes maybe within few minutes. 1 minute I'm so jealous, and another next minute I am so pride, and then next minute I'm comparing with someone. You see, this is something uh, that being, how to say, without training, naturally these emotions will going to pop up within ourselves. This must, in order to lay its law at the beginning and then eventually eradicate all this type of emotions, and it only we can do through our training. If we do not train, these emotions is some sort of like a looks like being a human. It is just there together with us since we are born. Even the child, baby, know how to feel jealous, how to compare, and how to be pride. Look, we are so used to generating these emotions from the childhood. Okay, if we believe in a previous life, past life, then yes, it was built. That habit or the pattern was built life after life. That's why from the really baby, nobody wants to learn how to jealous. It is just there. And nobody needs to learn how to be comparative. Nobody needs to learn how to be pride and ego. It is that why it is kind of like the born together with. It is because proving that it has built some pattern or the habit in the past. Otherwise, why? If this is just beginning with the born, then every baby should have same level of jealous, same level of pride, same level of comparative sense, rivalry. But every baby has a different level. Some has very strong, some has less, and some has mediocre. It is kind of like these things is actually proving that there is a past. This conscious is just transferred from the past, continues. That's why this conscious carrying this habit continuously to the next form and then to the next form and then to the next form until it's eradicated completely. And then how much strong or less, as I told you, we can understand when we occur the situations. And even tiny situations, it just kind of like a blooming up within oneself. That's proving that I have a strong jealous, I have a strong pride, strong rivalry. Even that those small situations doesn't bothering anything, that proving I have less jealous, I have less comparative, less pride. And then sometimes situations, when situation pop up, it raise immediately, and then next moment through our being our aware, through kind of like a mindfulness, immediately we are some people able to suppress it down. And that is actually also good. Although you have so strong, but you also have that habit of antidote to suppress this down immediately right after. And these are all some sort of like a different person has a different capabilities to how to deal with those emotions, right? That is proving that everybody, it's the differentness of those emotions with the every babies. It's proving that it has its past continuing. Anyway, so this is not our topic. Okay, this is just side topic, but this is also that how normally one way of proving past and future life is this logic. This logic is helping us to predict, yes, there is a past. And this logic also help us to predict the future too. So that anyway, so get to the point here. From the baby, that no one needs to learn how to be envy, how to be comparative rivalry, how to be the pride. You see, this is something like what do you call it? The being a human being, like normal human being, that it is kind of like we have these three types of emotions with the bone. Looks like with the bone. From the baby that we do this. And then from there, every day, and especially when some of my friend gets the nice toy, oh, then it's very burning my eye. When I was baby, I'm talking about baby, huh? When I was child, when some of my child food friend, when they get the nice toy, such as like a car or I don't know, Superman, and then it's very burning my eye. I cannot watch properly. I don't want to believe it that he got this one. And then when I get it myself, something that which he didn't get it, then immediately I feel some sort of like pride. Oh, I have, he does not. Like that, And then when both of us have some, like he have a Superman toy, I have a Superman toy, we both get Superman toy, then I want a rivalry. Which one is better? Oh, mine one is more expensive, more quality, more better quality than yours. I want immediately I will generate this rivalry, sense of rivalry. You see, this is one example. Okay, one example. Like that, food, clothes, shoe. Oh, we can generate all these three emotion related with the food, related with the dress, related with the shoe, related with the look, related with the parent, related with the wealth, related with the property, related with the car, related with I don't know now. Look, this is that how from the childhood, what I'm really trying to say here is that from the childhood, we have been building this pattern or the habit, generating these three types of emotions. So now here we are trying to train putting other as a priority, because we want to develop bodhicitta within myself. So in order to develop the bodhicitta myself, yes, ahead of that, I must have this competence or the capability to able to put other as a priority, more important than myself. Without having that sense, genuine developing the bodhicitta and very firmly, and 1 minute, maybe 1 second, we can generate. Yes, we can generate the very genuine bodhicitta, but it won't remain firmly, stably, if we are unable to train these developments, the able to putting other as a priority. So now, in order to put other as a priority, with these three emotion, I will never going to able to put other as a priority. These three emotions somehow will preventing me to able to put other as a priority. So therefore now Shantideva, that on the side tip, these antidote in order to develop the meditative concentration regards to the putting other as a priority, able to exchange self and others. And let us imagine this, letting us imagine this. So yesterday that we studied the brief one, and the only one stanza, that 140, it describing all these three, how to meditate upon that briefly. And then from stanza 141 onwards, elaborating one by one, letting us meditate this all three one by one, and then lay it low and eradicate. How to eradicate? By understanding its fault and how it is silly that someone who's doing it, someone who is generating these three emotions within oneself, how it looks like. In order to see how it looks like, in order to experience how it looks like, then that Shantideva letting us to the, what do you call how to say, imagine someone who you believe lower than you. First put in front, and then after you exchange yourself with that lower person, means that he become higher, you become lower, and then now envy, generate jealous to him by looking at his all this kind of like a how to say, that as he's here, it's saying he's the center of attention, I am nothing. Think that way, and then generate jealous, generate envy. Likewise, and unlike him, I am poor without possession. He's very rich. And everyone looks up to him, but despising to me. All goes well for him. For me, there's only bitterness. All I have is sweat and drudgery, while he's there sitting at his ease. And he is great, respected in the world, while I am underdog, a well-known nobody. Look up to him. So this is letting us imagination, right? When I imagine someone who I consider lower than me, and then second, exchange oneself with him, make him higher and put yourself lower, and then now imagine that I am being jealous or envy to him. How it looks like now? Is it really proper to do that? Is it really something worth to do that or not? So that way, Shantideva letting us the experience, not just talking, but let us see very clearly that how this jealous is something improper. That's the one thing, that which we already studied yesterday. So imagine in this way, and then try to avoid the jealous to anyone now. So this is one training this way, train to lay it low and eradicate jealous, right? To him. Likewise, and to anyone, whoever you generate the envy. It looks same. Different person doesn't makes your jealous sometimes look better and sometimes look ugly. It is all the time ugly. It is all the time improper, regardless. And this is something jealous. Normally, we don't really have with the stranger. Jealous, most of the time, we will have within our surrounding people, and especially to one's dearest friend. Do you remember I told you before that we have saying this? We have saying that I feel so sad when my close friend failed the exam. This is one thing, right? And then now another thing. I feel so burned when my this same close friend take the first. You understand? No. Yeah. So be careful. These emotions, most of the time, we generate around us, not so far. It is always within a house, within a roommate, within a student, classmate, roommate, classmate, and within a disciple, disciple among disciple each other, and then monk each other or lay each other, whosoever. These emotion will going to most of the times happens very near. We don't have to look so far. Oh, like imagine someone like who lives in South Asia, and then am I jealous into him? Or no? No. We can just imagine our roommate, our housemate, our neighbor, our classmate, our kind of like the what to say, friends, dharma friends or mundane friends or whatsoever. Yeah, we generate jealous towards our mundane friends, people who is around me. Those will going to be the most of the time, those will going to be the my object to generate the envy. See, now. And likewise, comparating, same. And pride, also same. Most of the time, we generate these three emotions around us with those people who is surrounding me. When we become distance, less emotion. We don't have much pride. We don't have to feel much pride. We don't have to feel much comparative. We don't have to feel much jealousy either. These emotions will going to be really pop up when we get close. Now it is very important to be aware that these emotions will going to be there when we get close to each other. Means that surrounding people, classmate or dharma friend or normal friend. As I just give you one example, right? When my close friend failed the exam, I feel so sad and like how to say, maybe compassion to him or her. But at the same time, when he or she take the first exam, then I still feel so burned. That's what we have saying. This is not just saying, but it is really happening in our day-to-day life. Yeah. So So therefore now, this true stanza is letting us imagine that him, you are him, he is you. Now he is inveighing to you how you will going to feel now, right? This is your imagination. You have from both sense. From this person you get some sense, and then here this one, that's also you can get some sense. Then you can see really clear that how this jealous or envy is something very ugly to carry with. Otherwise, if it do not look like this, normally sometimes we may feel it is so ugly emotion, but most of the time we lost our control. When we look like, imagine like this, then we can really sense strongly. That's why Shantideva let us this sense strongly, and then feel that it is very ugly to have it and carry continuously within oneself towards any people surrounding me. And then understand this kind of like a, how to say, remind oneself this ugliness again and again, oftenly. And then that contemplation again and again, oftenly, will help us to lay it low and eradicate this envy emotion, jealous emotion. That's the training now. This is the training. Okay? That's how we should train to reduce this envy. And then the next one, Yunden mebe chi shikja, da kun yunden dembanyit, kangwe dimin te yujin, kangwe te chok te yang yus. And now this next stanza, let me read this first in the translation. That what a nobody without distinction, not true, I do have some good qualities. Compare with the some, he is lower down. Compare with the some, I do excel. I do have some excel quality. Excel. Huh? Excellent. This is excellent. Extraordinary. A little bit more, right? Anyway, so the excel. So this is stanza here now. This is stanza, Shantideva let us watch from the different angle now. Another angle. Another angle, this stanza, it's the main subject or the point from this stanza is like, and anyway, regardless, the jealous is something very unrational, unreasonable. That's the main point. It is unrational, unreasonable. So therefore, we don't have to be jealous or envy to anyone. Because, okay, let's say now here, it is saying like, this translation, I don't know how to compare with these words. What a nobody without a distinction. Not true, I do have some good quality. What a nobody without distinctions. Not true. Huh?
Distinction means, like having good qualities. Something, some people excel, they're excellent in something, show good, better than.
Okay, so here it gives like each line gives something. Each line. So the first line here saying Yenten mepe chishichas. So now this one we should look from the different angle, which is now here. So here we are imagining the someone in front, right? That we imagined that the lower person first, and then exchange, make him higher, and myself, I have to be lower one, and then in way. Now that point of looking, the viewing from that angle, it's completed one way. And then now another angle, Shantideva let us look, which is like here it is saying Yenten mepe chishichas. So since I do not have quality like him, right? Above mentioned all these qualities above, right? 6 of them, 6 different. He have a 6 different extraordinary than me, right? Such as like he is center of the attention, I am nothing, one, like that, right? So based on him, that particular person who I'm imagining in front of me, who is higher than me, and based on that person, I may do not have those above 6 qualities, right? I may do not have. But still, why I should be jealous? What's the point of being jealous to looking at his qualities? Because when I look at based on him, I may looks like that, but if I don't put myself and if I don't look myself based on him, remove him. If I just look myself, I may have some good quality. I don't have to be jealous to him. I may have some quality. This is what it is saying. And not just me. The normally people, whoever considering lower than somebody, it is just like how to say, means dependent. It is interdependent. It's not solid there. It is interdependent. When you're dependent on somebody who is higher than you, you feel that. But when you don't depend on that somebody who is higher than you just look at yourself. And then also you may look down someone who is even lower than you. Then I myself become possessing some qualities. Isn't it? Now this is different angle Shantideva want us to watch. And then now again the next third line it is saying Kangwe dimen diyochings. Also the person in front who is higher than me, and that person, if he, how to say, compare with the someone who have more quality than him, he may become lower. He become lower, right? That kind of situation is also there. That is really truth. Even within a company, we have a manager, and then what? Captain, I don't know what to say now. Huh? Supervisor. So first, the lowest level is employee, right? Employee, and then department, supervisor, and then manager, huh? CEO, I don't know now. And then the boss, owner, top, right? And then now this owner may be working under somebody. Yeah, the like, okay, for instance, we can use like this Tim Horton owner, He is the owner of Tim Horton, but he is working under Tim Horton company. So the Tim Horton. So I have, okay, for let's say like this one location, Tim Horton. And within that Tim Horton, there's the employee, what we talk, all this is there, right? Supervisor, manager, the boss. Okay. Now the boss of this location, Tim Horton, it's himself or herself is the working under what? Tim Horton company, huh? Isn't it? Likewise, Starbucks, all this franchise, Burger King, whatsoever had the bank, and so many thousands of example. We won't be able to finish counting those example if you want to count, right? So this is what it is talking about here. 강외 디멘 대유징. So now here, he that who I look higher than me, if he compare with the someone who have more wealthy, more respect, more center attention, and all that whatsoever mentioned above, and comparing with the another who is higher than him, he become lower, right? He become lower. So that kind of occasion is also there, that this higher is not permanent. When he compare with the someone who is higher than him, he may become lower. Likewise, the next word, next line, 강외 다초 대하여. Compare with the some, I do excel. Now, okay, remove him. I am considering based on him, I'm lower. Now remove him, I just become normal, and then I look down. Somebody who is even lower than me. Compare with that person, I am higher. So there is an occasion, there's a situation which makes me higher. You see? So the point here is that higher, lower, these all are just kind of like a mess up. These are just this we are messing up. We are creating our own. The fact there's not really point that we should be jealous. So therefore, this is one very interesting angle to watch, isn't it? If I feel so pride, look those higher person, then press down this pride. If I feel so jealous, and then look those down and feel okay. Right? And if I so feel comparative, then what to do? If I feel so comparative, then what? Still, we can maybe look down somehow. Anyway, so the point here is this, what Shantideva was trying to say, he wants us to look from the different angle now. Different angle to watch ourselves. So that what I have concept about higher and lower, it's very interdependent. It is not solid there at all. So it is very silly being jealous. I don't have to. This is one angle he's want us to watch ourselves. And then the next two stanza, also I think look, he's letting us watch from the another angle, third angle. So within this, he's letting us look from the three different angles. So this next two stanza, which is Sultim tawa gusoni nyomontobji dawamin jinin dani so gote. Next three stanza, sorry, not two, three stanza. Nebang dagi tangdu lang. Wende dagi soja min chichir dala nyebachis. Dala te yondenji chicha te da yondenchin. Ngendro tu bi kar neba drola nyingje mebar di. Chirla yonden lombai keba dala towardes. Now this next three stanza and Shantideva again let us watch from the third angle. First angle and second angle is gone. Now from the third angle, imagine this and look in this way. That saying, first, okay, let me read this first in English, how they translate it. My discipline, my understanding have declined, but I am helpless, ruled by my defilements. As much as he is able, he should cure me. I will be submissive even to his punishment. The fact is, he does nothing of the sort. By what right then does he belittle me? What is use then are his quality to me? Those quality of which he so possessed, indifferent to the what is it? Plight, indifference to the plight of living beings who treat the drink of evil destinies. He make an outward show of virtues and even wants to weigh with the sage. Huh? Why? Why with the sage? You understand what Shantideva was trying to say through these three stanza? Okay, now this is Shantideva letting us watch from the third angle, the different angle. That, okay, that particular person who I consider as a higher than me, okay, higher than me, anything, quality and wealth, reputation, anything, he's higher than me, okay? And then if you say that I am kind of, how to say, your discipline and understanding the knowledge, right? Knowledge, view, as well as reputation, wealth are declined, degenerated, right? Degenerated or declined. So now I am saying to him, I declined my discipline, moral. I declined my education, my knowledge, and my reputation, my wealth, and everything. I declined myself. But I am really helpless. The truth is, I am really helpless because I am ruled by my defilement emotion, such as desire made me this, anger made me this, and ignorant made me this, right? Pride made me this, jealous made me this, stinginess made me this, made me stinginess, and those five poisons and stinginess and so on declined my moral, declined my wisdom, declined my knowledge, declined my wealth, declined my reputation, declined my what do you call it? The position or everything. It is all because of this defilement, ruled by my defilement. The fact is, I am really helpless. I don't really wish. That's what it means. I don't really wish to decline my all these qualities. But somehow I was ruled by my own defilements. That's why I declined all of this. So, if you really who have more proper moral than me, more wisdom, more education, more knowledge, more reputation, more wealth, more position, or whatsoever, right? Then the fact, when you look at me, you should, how to say, as much as you able, you should cure me, right? You should cure me from my these all declinations, right? Declinations. If you do this, if you try to curing me from these declinations, then I may, if so, maybe I will be submissive, even when you punish to me, when you give sentence to me. If you're really doing this, then I may accept all your punishment. Now here, this is very strange, huh? This is so strange. But this is kind of like a, so he's letting us do, imagine like this way. Point, it will come later, okay? So this is not the point. The point is come later. So if you do so, then if you scold me, or here they just say punished, right? Punish means if you scold me, I will all listen. If you hit me, I will bear with it. If you, no matter whatever you give sentence difficulties to me, I will just bear with it, just like Milarepa. Oh, Milarepa is too much, isn't it? But even though I cannot be like Milarepa, but I will try my best to obey you if you do that favor to me, right? You saw my declinations of all this. You know my all this declination. Now you are considering you have more everything than me. If so, you should be take this responsible to cure me, to pull me up, pull me out of this decline. If you do that, then I may submissive, right? I may submissive that whatever you may ask me to do. But the fact is, you does nothing of the sort. If you does nothing of the sort related with that situation, by what right then does you have to look belittle on me? You have no right to look down on me. And also, what it's related with me, that what I have used, that you have all this quality. You have these qualities doesn't benefiting anything to me, so what to do? There's nothing to do with me. So don't punish me. Don't scold me. Don't give me a sentence. Don't ask me to do that and this and blah, blah, blah. What use then are his qualities to me here, right? Those qualities of which he so possess. He so possess. So what? Is those qualities does nothing to me. And then indifferent to the plight of living beings who tit the brink of evil destinies. You, how to say, he makes an outward show of virtues and even wants to why with sage. I didn't quite get it from this English translation, but let me read it from here. So now this last stanza is really showing the point. Okay, last stanza here. So then it is saying that the people like me who is considering as a lower, right? Actually, these are some sort of like these peoples are. The fact is the object of compassion, right? The object of compassion. Those person who considering themselves as a higher quality than me should have some compassion towards people like me. Instead of having compassion, instead of willing to cure me and pull out me from the decline, instead, kind of like a looking outlook, some sort of like a, I have more quality than him. Being boastful now here. This is boastful. So the person who does boastful, this is the point here now. The person who does the boastful to themselves by looking at me and then being boastful to themselves, they definitely going to want to weigh with the sage. Again, here, you understand now what it Shandadeva trying to say here. Means the persons who carrying this boastful, like a pride, actually, the pride, and they definitely going to generate envy, jealous to those who are more scholar than him or herself, those who are more, can't say, pure discipline than him or herself, those who are more wealthier, more reputations, more, and this type of person definitely going to be envy to them, envy with them, right? Envy to them. So here, what this really shows, telling here is that it's telling this third angle is that if through having that sense that I have better quality than him, then rather than having boastful by watching on my own quality, I should have some sort of like a altruism or compassion to those who does not have this quality, and then try to how to say rescue them from their decline, right? Their decline. Instead, watching on my own quality and then not being able to generate that sense, watching on my just quality, if I generate the boastful, right? Boastful. Is it boastful, right? I'm something. Yeah. If I generate boastful, that means I will definitely going to generate envy, jealous to those who are more scholar than me, who are more discipliner than me, who are more educated than me, who are more wealthier than me, higher position than me, more reputation than me. Again, it comes down to the jealous. So, jealous, how it looks ugly, which Shantideva already described above, the first angle, right? The first angle, Shantideva let us see the clear ugliness of jealous. So here, coming back to jealous, which means same ugliness as before. So now this one, it's okay. This first angle is looking lower to the higher, and then how to see how the ugliness of jealous clearly. And then second angle, different angle, jealous is not really necessary. This higher and lower is really interdependent. I don't have to be so careful about it. The second angle is. Third angle is now looking from the, this is really much talking about the pride. But through pride, the person who carry pride, ego, boastful, they will definitely going to jealous to someone who is higher than them. You understand now? These Shantideva let us use our this mind. So now Shantideva really wants to see that we are considering as a human, right? Human has this special intelligence. Now Shantideva is examining our intelligence. Now look at it and use your intelligence. I will see how much you have intelligent. See, this is very tricky, right? He's letting us look from this angle and then that angle. So here within this sixth stanza, he's let us watch from three different angles to feel a uselessness or the ugliness of the jealousy. So that's how he's telling us meditate upon jealousy. Okay. Is it not really meditating jealousy, right? Yeah, it is one way meditating jealousy. To see the true face of jealousy is through meditating upon jealousy. To really real face of jealousy. Rather than just we saying, oh, jealousy, it's bad, shouldn't. You just don't do that. Just meditate. Through our own imagination, through our own experience, build this conviction rather than listening and taking somebody's reference. He's letting us imagine ourselves. He's letting us experience ourselves by being jealousy towards other, being envy to other. How it will going to look like. Is this really okay to do it now? Still, if we feel it is okay to do it, then okay, then go, then finish. Now we go to next Next stanza. So we are human. We have human intelligence. He wants us to use our intelligence to lay it low and eradicate the sense of envy, jealous emotion. By this is like a analytical meditation, actually. Analytical through these meditations, we are developing the meditative concentrations. Meditative concentration based on what? The bodhicitta. We are trying to develop the bodhicitta. When we try in this way, prevent all the negative emotion, at the end, what it will going to be left? It will going, at the end, the leftover will going to be the altruism, bodhicitta. That will going to be the leftover. And then next is now Shantideva let us meditate rivalry by exchanging with the equal now. Rivalry, right? Comparing. Meditate rivalry by exchanging with the equal. How now? How he is letting us meditate rivalry. Here it's saying, Da dan nyamla tene ni, dagi rangi lhajechir, dagi nyetan kurdi ni, tsoba yi kyang ngebar drus. Chinen dagi yönden ni, jikten kunla salwa dang. Shenyang di yönden kang, sui kyang töbar me gyurshas. Dagi kyonyang bajashing, dani chögyur telamin. Dagteng nyeba legnye dani kurgyur telamins. Dini marung cheba la yunrin dani gaveta, drowa kungi shege dang pensun meba dangdushas. So now this with 4 stanza. With this 4 stanza, Shantideva letting us meditate rivalry by exchanging with the equal person. So let me read here first. That I might excel, outstepping him regarded as my peer and equal. In contest, I will certainly secure my fame and fortune, public renown. That we really does in our day-to-day life, right? Do we do this? So now imagine someone who you consider as equal as your, same as your, that position wise and reputation wise, wealth wise, and quality wise, look wise, education wise, everything, right? Whatever the favorable conditions I have, he or she have too. Someone who have similar favorable condition as myself. Imagine someone like that, right? In front of you. And then watch to that person. And then now meditate the rivalry. So how one should meditate the rivalry? By thinking that I should make myself more, how to say, I should make myself more extraordinary than him, right? Kangi rangi lajichir. For that purpose, I should achieve the gain or the reverence and reputation and wealth and so on, everything. Even for that, if I may have to do argument and so on, regardless whatever I have to do for it, I will definitely going to do for it, right? I will certainly secure here in contest. I will certainly secure my fame and fortune, public renown. I will do whatever I have to do to make it more extraordinary than this person who is who I think it is equal as me. To make myself a little bit more extraordinary than that object person who is equal as me, then what we will going to do is by every means I will advertise my gift to all the world, ensuring that his qualities remain unknown, ignored by everyone. My faults I will conceal, dissimulate, for I, not he, will be the object of devotion. I, not he, I, not he, will gain position and renown. I will be the center of attention. I will take such a satisfaction in his evil deeds and degradation. Degradation. I will render him despicable, the butt and laughing stock of everyone. That's how meditate the rivalry now. Look now. Okay, so now here again. So imagine someone who I think has same everything what I have. Okay, what I have. And then exchange that person with oneself. Go myself in that person and then let him come in me. And then now let me rival. Let me meditate rivalry. Means let me rivalry. Rival in this way. Now, rivalry in this way. That I might excel outstepping him regard as my peer and equal. In contest, I will certainly secure my fame and fortune, public renown, as I mentioned above. And then the next one, by every means I will advertise. So now I am being rivalry to him, okay? Now actually this front is you, and he is this, me. Now imagine someone who is being this rivalry, how it looks like. When you go onto this person's shoe, right? And from there, look to yourself, being rivalry, you can see very clear how ugly it is. But the difference is when we do not go there, when we do not put ourselves into his shoe, and then we may feel this rivalry is okay. Now, in one hand, this way of rivalry Unfortunately, it very become common in this world now. If you know how to do this, you are smart. Yeah, some very great politician says it makes me smart, right? Yeah, it makes me smart. He said that, right? This is what at the moment in this world people think this behave is okay. They feel this behave is okay when they are not put themselves into others' shoe. If they put themselves in others' shoe and then somebody is doing to them, and then they will definitely say it is not okay. It does not make me smart. But they are not imagining this way. They are not looking at it, the true phase of rivalry. This is something very unfortunately, yes, nowadays in this modern world, if you do not know how to rivalry with your friends, with your relatives, with your partners, with your colleague, with your anybody, that means you don't know how to live a life, right? That's what we think now. We are failed to see the true face of rivalry. So now here, Shantideva here, he is giving us the technique how to watch the true face of rivalry. This is so kind of like a powerful idea to able to see the true face of rivalry. Normally we don't want to watch in this way, this face, because it hurts. We do not want to hurt even for a second, even though it is very much helpful. The medicine, look, the medicine, even it is really helpful, but that the moment of bitter test, we don't want it. Just like that. We try to modify it, to fabricate the old medicine, makes feel tasty. But somehow still we are not really success on it. Most of the medicine is still bitter. Likewise, this is also medicine. This maybe feel bitter for a moment. And we may raise a lot of question then. Now, if I do not rivalry, compare, how can I progress myself? How can I achieve? How can I success? See now, these are all questions living behind in our mind. To success, you just try to see the goal that which you really want to achieve, and then focus on that goal and focus on its method how to achieve. And within that method, sometimes we may feel that we need to do some rivalry towards somebody else in order to achieve that goal. This is so tricky. Yes, I have a lot of experience about it. I'm also saying this with my many friends that we human concept, we have this. When I want to progress myself, when I want to success myself, I must achieve that success pushing someone down. That is something very wrong view. In order me to achieve that goal, I do not have to push. It is not requirement. It's not necessary. There are many other methods. Yes, methods difficult, I agree. But it's still worth to try those difficult methods rather than pushing someone down and then trying to jump up there. Kind of like using that person as your stair to go up. Step on, push down, and then go up. Very obvious one in those politicians. They do this when they run the campaign, right? Campaign? Called campaign? When they run the campaign. And they criticize about the other leader. He is weak, he is blah, blah, blah. From my point of view, I really feel this, that I can express what I want to do, what I can do for you, that I can express openly to the public and let public decide. I don't feel it is very necessary. I have to criticize that other leader in order me to select. But somehow now, this whole world politics system is becoming like that already now. It's too late to go back now. It's very late to go back. Even, okay, now let me tell you this one, my own politics things now. I felt really shamed that last time the exile Tibetan, the campaign between these two leaders. I felt so really shame, yes. Now we lost our unique behave in that last campaign. Before, till that, yes, there are few, but not that obvious and not that bad. Last campaign between these two leaders, you may have no idea that this to exile Tibetan government, right? Exile Tibetan government. We choose the leader. We Tibetan also now Dalai Lama gave the what do you call it? Democracy. Public to choose their leader, right? People to choose their leader. And then the last vote campaign or vote or election, last election, last one. I think I feel one time I feel definitely so many others countries' idea is put in them. So they're copywriting those countries, how they running their campaign and election. They're copying. We don't need to copy this. This is not our unique things. This is sad news for us. Till now, we do not do this like very obvious way. We express our own quality, our own capability to others, and let them select. You express your quality, your capability. I express my quality and my capability, and let her explain her quality and her capability. And based on that, let people choose then. That's really democracy, right? That is really sad. I feel very shame last time, this election. Now we really lost our this very unique view of putting base karma and then working from there. They threw all this karma and they just try to copyright the other countries' way of running election. This is really shameful. Yes, I feel really embarrassed at that moment. This is my feeling, okay? My feeling doesn't matter, but it's still I'm just telling what I felt. If we elect our leader like this way, it doesn't work. We are the one who considering has this very stable foundation of Buddhist view, putting karma as a base. Now we're throwing that base. Now what are we different? We are not different than anything else, anybody else then. This is very sad, yes. We need to think. Anyway, so that's rivalry now. Anyway, so this is still rivalry, right? These are all rivalry. So you see, that's what I'm saying. Rivalry is not necessary for success, for achievement, the goal, that whatever I set up the goal. To achieve that, rivalry is not requirement. Understand, it is not requirement. It is not necessary. That is the point I want to make it. You can still achieve your goal. You can still success without rivalry. Expressing your capability, expressing your quality, and let other understand your quality and your capability. Through that way, we can gain the trust from others, right? Through rivalry, gaining vote, not really stable. Not really stable. You may win today, right after tomorrow you may lose, because that is not who you are. That's not true face of yours, right? You fabricating, showing up some in a public and then doing something in behind. When we rivalry with someone, then there's a lot of hypocrisy. When we do not do rivalry, then we can be who we are without hesitation. Anyway, here now. Chin and Dagi Yundenis, Jigden Kun la Salwadans. Then, to rival, what we need to do is that by every means I will advertise. Right? I will advertise all my quality. Why they translate this my gift to all the world?
Because he's been boastful.
Huh?
Because he's been boastful.
Because it being boastful?
I think so.
What is boastful? This my gift to all the world is also boastful.
These qualities.
Same, right? Here, what it's saying, like,
Because by every means of
every means I will advertise my quality. By every means I will advertise my quality to all the world. So here now, quality, my gift. I think my gift to all the world. What to advertise my gift?
Have you ever heard the saying, he thinks he's God's gift to the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That means quality.
Yeah, it's saying, it's...
Why have to hint? Let's just say quality and then very clear. Yeah, here very clearly saying chine dagi yönden jigden kun la salwa dang. Yönden, quality. By every means I will advertise my quality to all the world. Yes. To do the rivalry. Then spiritual qualities and mundane qualities, both. So like a free spiritual qualities related with this scripture, maybe I will say like that. How much I am able to meditate these four immeasurables, and how much one able to practice these six prajna paramitas: generosity, morality, patience, diligence, and meditative concentration, and then wisdom. These are the spiritual quality. And then the mundane quality, starting from look. I have good looking, I have high class, I am wealthier, I am well educated, I have all this academic certificate, right? That way, advertise. If I truly have these qualities, advertise, maybe okay. And then on the other hand, when we really try to do the rivalry, then when on the other hand, next two line is ensuring that his qualities remain unknown, ignored by everyone. That is now really becomes rivalry now. That makes this behave is rivalry. When you add this behave, when you add this activity in there, then whole your activity becomes rivalry. Ensure that his qualities remain unknown, ignored by everyone. Seeing is far, even not let anyone hear about it. You see, that kind of behave, attitude. Right? And then, dagi kyunyam pajashin, dani chogyur telamins. My faults I will conceal, dissimulate, for I, not he, will be the object of devotion. So these are two meanings, actually, two different meanings. Dagi kyonyam bajashins, right? So the my fault I will conceal. And then let me have reverence from others, devotion from others, but not to him. That's rivalry, right? And then likewise, dati nyepa lenyeji, dani kurjur telamins. I, not he, will gain position and renown. I will be the center of attention. You see now, this is all imagination in front. Okay, put someone who I believe he or she has a equal quality as me. And then, after imagining this, someone in front, and then exchange yourself. You put into his shoe, and he put into your shoe. And then now watch, do the rivalry. How you will going to feel now when someone does rivalry to you like this. This makes very clear to see the true face of rivalry, isn't it? If we do not put ourselves into other's shoe and then other one put into your shoe and then let he be the rivalry to you, then we are failed to see the true face of rivalry. Till now, even this world, as I mentioned earlier, the very obvious one is rivalry happening in politicians, right? Openly they rivaling and then everybody admiring after them. Then Marun Chebalas, I will take such a satisfaction in his evil deeds and degradation. Degradation. Right? And then draw kunji shege dan pensun meba dushas. I will render him despicable, that the butt and laughing stock of everyone. So now here within this 4th stanza, what is the point? Usually when I do when I rivalry to someone, when I compare with someone, right? We don't really able to see its true face, that it is how it is ugly, how it is improper. We fail to see that true face of rivalry. We do this every day in our life. Everyone does this. Now needs to be very careful to really want to person who really want to look the true face of rivalry should watch in this angle. And without this angle, we might feel sometimes this is improper. Sometimes we might feel, but that's not really certainty. That's not really clearly, that's not really certainty that this is something ugly that one should not. But when we look through this angle, then we definitely feels its ugliness. Isn't it? Therefore, Shantideva letting us imagine first the person who I feel equal as me, and then exchange oneself with him, and then imagine that I am doing rivalry to him. How you will going to feel? Same this feeling when I do to anyone in this world. Rivalry, competition, comparing. Everybody feels the same. That's the message. That's the point. How I am feeling when someone rival to me, when someone compare competition to me. And like the same idea, the next one is also the same idea. Now next one is the pride. So once you understand this is very same idea, okay? So the next, now from here, stanza 151, Another 4 is stanza until stanza 154. 151 to 154, Shantideva is letting us meditate pride by exchanging with the higher. From here now, how he's letting us meditate the pride exchanging with the higher person. It's saying, Nyumon diyan dadani lenchik tunin denche taas. Didak tödan şerabam sugrik norji nyamam cheese. Tedar kunla tabayi dagi yönden tönani budang gawache jurbi dejilane yonsu chöz. Chite dila nye yokyang kalte ngayi leche na dila tsoa tsamshine dagi topji telangsha. Dini dele nyamjashi dagi nötang takjar chas. Dei gyata thamche du korwa dalan nöba ches. People say this pitiful nonentity, is it?
Yes, non-entity.
People say this pitiful nonentity is trying to compete with me. But how can he be on a par with me in learning, beauty, wealth, or pedigree? Pedigree. From what he wants to compare with me? From which? See, now that's let pride. Now again here. So now this, how we should meditate pride. Now here, same idea. Put someone in front who I consider higher than me. Okay, higher than me. I am lower, right? After imagine that, now exchange yourself. You go to his shoe, you have become higher. And let him come to you, you have become lower. Now let him meditate pride in this way. How I am going to feel now when somebody's generating pride in this way related with me? How am I going to feel? Right? He is saying this now. He is telling me now. He is telling me that people say this pitiful nonentity. It is trying to compete with me. But how can he be on par with me in learning, in beauty, in wealth, or in pedigree? Which way he wanna compare with me? You see, when this higher people does to me, how I am feeling. It's not, it is a little bit like a, but I think now, according to the mundane, these are okay. As long as you are more wealthier than him, you have rights to think that way. We normally feel that, same as rival were. But when you become victim, is it? This is now Shantideva, let oneself become a victim for this. And then how you will going to feel? Do you really feel that what he is doing or she is doing is right? That's little awful, isn't it? And when someone rich person really talks to me like that way, I feel slandering, isn't it? I feel humiliation, isn't it? I feel disdain, isn't it? You see, why don't you say at that moment, he have a right to say this? Because he is higher. Yeah, true, it is higher. He has a more wealth, he has good looking than you, he has better education than you. He have a right to say it. Why you are burning? You see, we can see the true face of pride when we put ourselves as a victim. When we look somebody too, when we're watching someone higher and lower out there, and then this higher is telling him that I have, from which point you are comparing to me, I feel like, oh, he's very right. When I look from outside, right? Oh, he's right. Why he's competing? He should not compete. There's nothing for him to compete. But when that person becomes me, then what I'm feeling is slander, disdain, humiliation, and everything. Look, we don't feel this humiliation, slander, disdain until me become victim, right? Until myself become victim of that, what you call a attitude, that behave. The same idea here now. All of these three meditate. First imagine someone lower in front, and then exchange, and then some meditate front of you equal, then exchange, and then some meditate somebody who I consider higher than me, and then exchange, and then meditate pride, and so on. Then we can really able to see the true face of pride. Otherwise, we fail to see. Yes, as I said, if I look from the outside, I am being the third person, and there are one first person and second person. Is the first person doing some humiliations to the second persons by saying something like, even though it is truth that he is more richer than him, he is more good looking than him, he is more educated than him. And when I become third person, that I may feel like, yeah, that's truth. What he's saying has a point. This second person, why he's trying to compete? He should not try to compete. But when that second person become me, that makes different. That change whole game now. That's how Shantideva want us to watch the true face of pride. Understand now, right? Just to hear them talk about my excellence, my reputation on the lips of all, the thrill of it sends shiver down my spine. Goose bumming, it is talking about goose bumming. There's no goose bumming in this translation. Yeah, we have this goose bumming, right? When someone's kind of like when they feel their own qualities or whatsoever, excellence, my reputation on the lips of all, the thrill of its sends shiver down my spine, a pleasure that I bask and revel in. Chitte dila nye ye kyans. And then even if that lower person, if he does have something to achieve, although if I really want to achieve that, the same thing as he's looking for, if I am the one he's working for, he can keep enough just to survive, but with my strength, I will steal the rest away from him. I can do it because I have that capability. That's how we do pride normally, isn't it? If I work what he is trying to achieve, I can steal it easily. That business, in business, people does this a lot of time, right? And I will wear his happiness away. I will always hurt and injure him. He is the one who in samsara did me mischiefs by the hundreds. So now here, the same idea, usually when we do the pride to someone, we might feel sometimes it is wrong, but still we won't be able to see exact its true nature, true face. In order to see the true ugly face of the pride, when you imagine in this way somebody is higher than you, put in front, and then exchange with yourself, and then let him do the pride to you, and then you will really able to see this true face of prideness. Then really give us some conviction that being pride or doing pride from someone, it is really improper, that I should not ever do. I should not ever feel pride from someone. So that's how now, so we should stop here. So that's how Shantideva here trying to lay it low and eradicate these three emotions like jealous, envy, competitive rivalry, and pride or ego. Because with this emotion, able to put other as a priority, it's impossible. These three emotions really prevent us to develop the sense of able to exchange self and others, and then put other as a more important than oneself. That's why Shantideva introducing to train to develop the able to exchange with others and put other as a priority. One should deal with these emotions. One should train in this way to able to see the true face of jealousy, true face of rivalry, true face of pride. Then lay it low and eradicate. Contemplation here. In this way, contemplation itself is the method, okay? So don't try to look something different method. Method is not something different. The antidote, that itself is antidote. That itself is the method to lay it low and eradicate these three emotions. Analytical meditation in this way, that how Shantideva here guided to analytical meditations to train to get rid of this emotion, this three emotion. So later won't going to be much hard or difficult for me to put other as a priority. Okay, so we'll stop here, and then from next week, like this February, we will not going to have this Bodhicaryāvatāra teaching for a month, and March maybe we'll please, if you wanna attend, keep eye on our website. We will going to upgrade all the schedules in our website when we will going to start back. And meanwhile, in this February now, we have this Lunar New Year, so we have this preparation for Lunar New Year, and then also that our Lopen Temba accepted our invitations to teach the great scripture that composed by the great Pandita from the Tibet, the Rongsom Mahapandita. He composed that the scripture known as establishing appearance as divine. That is very important for Vajrayana practitioner to how to have a pure perceptions, and how this pure perception is truth and reality and possible, that even though we are perceiving all this normal, ordinary, impure, that really help us to boost that sense of pure perceptions. That is scripture. So I'm strongly recommending, so all of you can spread it out, this propaganda to all around your friend. Then ask them to join this teaching. This is really how to say, important for the Vajrayana practitioner, especially for the Vajrayana practitioner, and which will going to be held in 2 weekends in February after Lunar New Year. And then meanwhile, that 15th day of Lunar New Year, that we will do this Shakyamuni Buddha's miracle day ceremony. And those all we will going to upgrade in our website. So if you have interest, please keep eye on our website. Thank you. And we dedicate what the medicine Buddha. No medicine. What medicine? Anyway, so do dedication. Sunam de thamje ziba ni thomne nye benda nam pamje ni shega nanji walon to bai sibe cholen do warsho jambal bawe jidar kimbanda kundu sambo te ande jende te da kunji jezon da loje gewan de dan thamje rabdongo Gewan de yeshe okun, sanam yeshe tsozone, sanam yeshe lejongwe, tamba kunyin tobarasho, sanje kusum nyebe chenlamdan, chenye minjur dembe chenlamdan, gendun mechen dembe chenlamde, jitarangwa melam dubarasho. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain omniscience, and having vanquished the harmful enemies, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By conforming to the knowledge of courageous Manjushri, Jambalyang, and in the same way as Samindabhadra, Kundusambo, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue may all being perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, sunam, and wisdom, yeshe, and may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from this true accumulation. By the blessing of the Buddha, Sangye, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmada, Chenyi, by the blessing of the infallible aspiration of the Sangha, Gendin, may this prayer of dedication be accomplished just as it is. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tuku.